Hey, fellow targeted individuals. It is Vulcan, Wolverine, or Kyle coming at you on Friday night. It's like 10 o'clock, maybe like 9:30 or so. I really haven't made a video in a while because I'm not doing too well. Like I can't, since I lost my job, it's been about a month, and it's gotten worse and worse because I was able to kind of keep up with them, buying the tabletop defenders, even so that they were so expensive. I still had money rolling in where I could pay my bills, and that I could buy one of those and keep up with them. It's still not the worst it could be, but sitting here, and then being able to get free weapons, I better, lay down some defenses as soon as I can. It's just been really bad, like especially when I sleep, I'll wake up, and they mostly, if I'm in my enclosure, just watching movies. That's what I've basically been doing. I've been binge watching shows, like The Walking Dead and some comedy shows too, just on Netflix, stuff on Netflix. And I feel like The Walking Dead. I feel like I'm in that movie, in that show. But so it hasn't been too easy. I've been missing my conference calls. I still know a lot of people are working on a lot of big stuff that can actually make money for our cause. Like, well, I won't talk about that, but somebody in New York and me, we're going to work on actually trying to make this a charitable cause and see how that works. He's got some great ideas, and I've got some experience with how that works. So there is hope, and then still in the legal system, we can still catch some of these guys who aren't covering all their loose ends. So this is not a hopeless thing. You hear me. I'm very tired. But last night, I found out. Well, I found out first of all that staying in this house and not having a job is way worse. No matter how things are going with the electronic torture, no matter how bad things are going with the V2K, no matter how bad things are going with the vehicular harassment, getting into another environment around people, even if it's just another environment away from the environment that you're always getting tortured in the most, because I know we're tortured everywhere. But I went to my parents' house last night, and they can only hit me remotely there, so it was nice. It was nice to get away from, because I have a guy across the street. I have the gentleman next door, and then the main organizer. So that's three houses around me that I know. And there's probably a couple of houses that aren't those three houses that are participating in other stuff, like the driving in the cars in the driveway, when I come out or when I drive my car out. So, I mean, it's been worse, and I would say anything good that's come of it hasn't been that good. To make you stay in your home. When you stay in your home, it's worse. I have noticed there's less police. Like when I go out there, I don't see any police caravanning me. They may just fell off of that, and they may do it like since I said something and this guy can hear me. They may, keep doing that. I do still notice tons of FedEx caravans and moving truck companies and the one-light cars. So they're still staying on me when I get outside. One night, like I don't leave this house. Like I stock up on food. I'm trying to get on the internet to get my disability and food stamps or a job, whatever I can get to make money to help my family. I think really, and this is the saddest thing that I can say, is that I think I really do need disability and I do need food stamps because the last job I had, was destroyed by this. I was tortured every day. It was a great job, and it was destroyed by this. It just made me, not there. I wasn't an employee there, and then things spiraled out. I made mistakes because of it, and but it really was because of this whole gangstalking thing. So, I mean, I still think it's important to get a job. It's important to try, but I think that really, the type of torture we're going through is really, it's a sickness. It's a very horrible sickness, and I don't think it's safe to go into work environments where you're going to have people torturing you remotely and maybe trying to get other people to hate in those jobs. I think that's not very safe. So I really do. I do think, and it's not enough money. It's not enough money to live on, but I do think the best option is to get disability. Like, cause I've tried it, and it's hell. The whole, like, I started work, and it was like, oh, this is all, oh, it's okay. You know, they're still torturing me and used to, but they wear you down. That's what these people do. That's what their whole thing is, to wear you down. So where you are at your job when you first start in the first few weeks isn't going to be where you are, you know, a couple months from then. And I had the job 7 months, and by the end of it, I was like, maybe I should just quit. You know, I was trying to see, like, kind of escape, you know, kind of escape paths that it's like maybe I should quit, because, you know, they just never stop. They never stop the torture. But I just want to, and I'm not trying to be all, you know, sad and everything like that. There's ways to get out of this. There's people working on stuff. I haven't lost faith. And when I felt like this week I didn't want to make a video, because I don't want to make a video where I'm like, I'm doing really bad. Like, I mean, I'm not, my plates are doing good, but if I move one fucking plate or one plate over to the other side, it's like it can make a huge difference. And this guy's yelling through the V2K, I just want him out of here. And if I pulled those plates and just got on out of here, like, he would kill me. So, I mean, he would still attack me when I go out. So what they're saying doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to back away from insulting them if I ever do talk to them. I'm trying to just say positive things. Like, if I'm going to die, or if I'm going to be tortured for the rest of my life and nobody's going to help, I want to do it as a good man. I've always been a good man, and these people really have turned me into, like, kind of an animal screaming. And, you know, because when you're murdered, you don't show your best side, you know. But I want to show my best side, even though I'm being murdered. And I want to hopefully, you know, talk with the people torturing me, and hopefully somehow, someday, people will snap out of it and just be like, this is not working, and they'll stop. You know, I still want to hope for that. Like, I still want to go for that, no matter what's happened. I'm just really tired. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put this video out. I'll probably call it Really Tired. Yeah, I still believe in God. I still believe He's here, and I believe the more horrible it gets, the more chances He has to flip it all around and make something so good that we can't even imagine. And I've seen this in my life. I've seen Him do it in situations that just looked like it was going to hurt everybody, and I watched them flip over, and I watched a lot of people get help. So I've seen this before. I don't just believe in it on faith. I've seen God work in the world when people thought, you know, only the worst could happen, and I've seen Him flip it around to where really good things happen for everybody's lives. You know, like I'm basically right now. I've been using my mom's credit card because, like, I'm trying to get food stamps. And it's just like, I mean, my stalkers, they surveil me in the house. They know that my mom is paying for all this. They know that it's hurting my family. Like, they know that. And I can't believe somebody could do that, because they do. They know it's hurting my family. And they hear my family, and my mom's like, have you gotten a job yet? You need to get a job. And I'm just trying to wake up. I'm trying to get out of that bed, because, like, I mean, there's burning on my spine. Like, I feel like the top of my head is just, like, the muscles are so tight in my face and my head that it really feels like sometimes I'm like, man, I mean, how much damage is this doing to my brain? You know, if they're shooting, you know, microwave straight through my forehead, is that actually microwaving brain tissue? I guess I need to learn more just personally about these weapons, so I'll know what it's doing to my body. That's a very sad, gross thing, but I think it is, because I think it feels a lot worse than it is sometimes, maybe. And maybe since they're remote neural monitoring us, they can make us feel like it's a lot worse sometimes. Other times, though, it's just really been bad. I have to say, though, those tabletop defenders have done their job. Like, they'll try and get EH through, but I'll hear it for a while, and then it'll buffer on out, you know. There is a problem with my house now. They've gotten enough, I guess, radar capability to make it sound like it's coming from either side. I do think it's coming from either side, but they can also make it sound like it's coming from the other house, but it's his wife's voice and his voice coming from the direction of the other house. And that would tell a lot of people that maybe it's not my neighbors right next to me, but I have so much evidence piled up. It is them. It definitely is them. But they've started to get better with the radar, and I guess the radar can make it sound like it's coming from a different direction. So they can make it sound like it's coming, from this part of the house. So I'll move all my tabletop defenders over there. They can make it sound like it's coming from there. They can make it sound like it's coming from both. And I don't know if that correlates with they've been able to hit me in the head and the chest and the genitals at the same time. I think they've been able to hit me in 3 places that are different remotely. So I don't know if that means they have one remote station that can do multiple targets on a body. I don't know if it means they've gotten more remote stations, and they did happen to give one to the Mexican gentleman who lived next to me. I don't know, because I can't see what they're doing, but they can see where I place my plates. So it's a slaughter, it's a torture, not really some kind of fight. It's trapping a human being in their house and murdering them. We all know this, though. I guess I just want to make a short video just to let y'all know, like, I'm alive. It's only been a month, or it's only been like 2 weeks, so saying that's pretty dramatic. I'm doing good. I love my family. I believe in God all the way through this. Even if I have the most bloody murder, I know he'll turn into something good for a lot of people, and that's fine. And I really do. I'm not just saying whatever. Like, I've seen it before in my life. I've gone through hard things before in my life, and I'll never stop trusting him. My grandpa, Sladen, on his deathbed, he was full of cancer. His extremities were all swollen up. He could barely move. And he said, I trust in him even though he slay me. Even though he slay me. And I'm not sure what verse that is. It's a verse in there. I will trust him always even though he slayeth me. And I think we've got to, it was my grandpa's time. He knew it. I don't think it's my time. Like, I would feel it. And all through these things, I don't feel that it's my time. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's the end of my life. I think they can do a lot of damage to me, but I think they could kill me if the circumstances were right and those plates were off the walls. I think they could. I think they could stop my heart, probably. But this is the way of the world. I really wish I watched a documentary on Indonesia, and it was like the act of killing. It's like way back when, I guess like 40 years ago. I'm not sure what war it was in Indonesia, but where they took communists or people that they wanted to just say were communists, and they butchered them, and like pretty much the whole nation, or the Indonesia, they pretty much say that was a great time in history, wiped out the communists, but they were like, really killing them in groups, just in lines, and it was people who weren't even communists who they wanted to kill off and said they were communists. And they did it in the open, though. It's like people knew there were executioners walking around and killing them. And that gave me a positive thought that in places like Indonesia, people would accept this back then, and they still, these days, they accept it on news shows. They're like, that was a great period. All the communists were wiped out. And not to say that we're communists in any way whatsoever, because I think all the targeted individuals are the opposite of communists. But it shows that these people have to hide these executions, these slow tortures that they're doing to us in our house, because Americans won't accept it. Americans won't look at it as, oh yeah, we're doing good, and that's why they have to do that. So that's a very hopeful thought. That's a hopeful thought that our country is not just going to go into bedlam and people being executed and all this fear, like with everybody cheering it on, as long as they're not on that side. Americans are compassionate and they're good people, and that's why this is being hidden. So the main thing is just to unhide it, to get people, acting. And I think that the point is this boiling pot of water is boiled over, and gangstalking is happening so much that, it can't be ignored anymore. It won't be ignored anymore, and we've got to use that. We've got to get those reins, and we've got to start getting more information out, videos out about your personal experiences. Sometimes it's the best I can do, and most of the times it's the best I can do is just tell you about my situation, because like I'm tired, they're microwaving my head. I'm trying to do a lot of other stuff, like I have to live a regular life. This guy, he sees through my house. He doesn't have to live a regular life. He does this war or torture or whatever 24 hours a day. He gets free weapons. He gets money from it. So this is his job. Like, I have to do other stuff to try and make money to defend myself from him, but this is his job. I mean, he can do this forever and feed off of it, get money, get vehicles. He's okay with this. It's just he has to kill me, which is sad because I don't know him. I don't know him, and I don't know any of the people who initiated this program on me. But they can, I guess, after a long enough time of fucking torturing somebody in their bed and telling neighbors and stuff, after a long time, the story can get switched around so that I had some involvement in their life, which I didn't. I know I'm kind of I've been really hurt this week. Maybe not the most it's ever hurt. So I remember sometimes I was waking up and my hips were burning, and it was a lot worse. But it seems as you go through it, and it's so much time. It seems like even stuff that wasn't as bad back then is worse because your body's just done. I mean, you're done, and I'm not done. There's always something left. There's always ways you go exercise. You get out of the place where you're being shot. Even if they're hitting you remotely, try and get like a Q defender. Try and get one of those, and then go out somewhere to your family member's house. Try to move around for a while. I don't know if this doesn't. They're shooting me in the throat right now. It's like a burning sensation in my throat. And if I ever have food, if I'm eating food, it'll start choking me unless I drink a liquid. But what was I saying? I was saying probably eventually I can't do this for my whole life. Like, I'll eventually have to do some stuff where I see if I pull those plates from the wall, how bad it'll be, and I'll do that in the house so I can move them right back. So I'll probably have to do a little experimentation and actually try and get away, and try and just live in an area that's far away from everything so that they can hit me remotely but not hit me from the sides like this. Because when they're doing both, and they put so much in my situation that, like, at the beginning I could figure out stuff. I was like, oh, it's coming from there. And then these guys they're shooting some ground weapons, and I can know where it's coming from. They deter a little bit in the back, Oh, these guys are too far away, so they can't. Now, so many people involved, so much time has passed, so much money's been put in it, so much more stuff has been put on it, and there's so many ways to kill somebody, I guess, trap them in their house, and kill them through their walls nowadays. That, a lot of that can be stacked on top of each other and really fool you, because you don't even see what's going on anyway. So if they take what you don't even see what's going on anyway, and then they really, get that to where it's secret and hidden, and then more stuff, and then do the same thing, it's just what it is just putting as much weight on you as they can, this guy's had infinite time, because I've called police. The police don't help me. I still haven't gotten an FBI report made. I'm kind of scared to do that, because an ex-FBI agent was the one who got me in a temporary behavioral place, which it cost $23,000, and I wasn't even crazy. I was being attacked by my neighbor. So, but I just wanted to make a short video. I'm doing all right. I'm just not doing anything. I need to be, get my resume ready. Really taking a shot at getting another job. I've got my Social Security coming up. I think I'm going to really, really, really work and hope and pray that I can get that, just so I can kind of get by and help my parents, with what they need to be helped with. They're getting old, and they should have retired way back, but they lost a bunch of their money. Not in the stock market. It was invested in businesses that failed in America, that America didn't prop back up. So they didn't get the ones that, after the businesses fell and a lot of families' lives were destroyed, then they had some businesses that failed, and the government came in and sponsored them, but they weren't part of that. They were part of the businesses that the government was like, oh, well, whatever. And so it's been pretty rough on my family. We've had to go through a lot of iterations and adaptations, and I truly believe I can do this one. I got to change. A lot of things have to change, because we can't. I'm sitting in my house with this, and it's just, it's animalistic. It's like a torture. It's like a bunch of torture houses. It has to change. I can't live this way my whole life, nor would I want to. So, I'll be taking some risks. I know you guys take some risks. And there are people coming at this from all angles. So don't despair. Don't despair. Like, there's a lot of connecting the dots in all this, and sometimes God will just take something and just go and straighten it out, and it will be straightened out. Things can happen tomorrow in this that we don't know about. Somebody could be told, or a senator could start talking about it, or the NSA could start getting a team to hold people accountable for the stuff and picking up these weapons. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen in the blink of an eye. So never give up, and never think that this is like this never-ending, death. Sometimes it is for some people, and that's hard. Like, sometimes people, like the people who started getting way attacked before 2000, some of them did go ahead and commit suicide because it was just too much. But I think now's the time to really hunker down and to really pray for that miracle, because I think these things can be turned around in a New York second. With all the violence going on in our society, people see it, people know that it's happening, and there are a lot of people who would really disagree with it, and I think they're working from their side. There are a lot of people who are complicit in it and corrupt and don't care, but we'll see who we have more of. And I truly believe the majority of Americans are good people. They're good people. They don't want this to happen. I base that on the fact that they've had to keep this secret. They've had to keep the gangstalking program and the electronic torture. They have to keep it secret. This guy can't go down the neighborhood and tell everybody he's microwaving me in my house. He just can't do that. That proves to me that the majority of Americans, because if he told this neighborhood, the majority of them would be upset about this. They'd be very, very upset that somebody was being microwaved in their homes only feet away from them. And that's what I kind of base majority of Americans not being okay with stuff like this. The problem is that when you get people like this and they're trying to ramp it up, some people who wouldn't have done it may get caught in it and ramped up into it, and they may start to believe it because it's brought about slowly. And that's what we've got to stop. We've got to open people's eyes up to it, how bad it is, without the ramping up. Oh, I'm just screwing around with this guy with the high-pitched sound. I'm just adding in a little ELF to burn his muscles. I like screwing around with them. Kind of need to get him out of this house. To now, my V2K is, I've got to kill him. He tells his wife, I got to kill this guy. We got to do it. He's nuts. He's retarded. As they torture me more, I look more retarded or nuts because I'm being murdered. So they use that. They use their own murder to prove to themselves that I'm losing it or whatever. Horrifying. It's horrifying. And I don't have anything to do with their lives. Like, even if they killed me in this home, I guess they're making money, from it. He's gotten a new vehicle. So I guess money, they're making money, but it's not doing, like, we don't have anything to do with each other. If I died, my family had to have a funeral, and it crushed my mom, they wouldn't go to that funeral. They wouldn't be involved in my family. I don't have anything to do with them. They would watch me die in my house, and they would go on with their lives, maybe to the next victim. See, I say they go on with their lives, but this guy's been doing it for 3.5 years here. Like, it's been more because other guys have done it, but can he go back to anything else? Is he gonna, once he stops this, is he gonna give all those weapons back and be like, alright, I'm done getting my target, and that's it, y'all can have these weapons back? Or is he gonna be like, I know how to do this now, so if anybody has trouble killing their American, I'm gonna go there? Because he has a black car who's doing just that. He has a guy in a black car that he knew who came here for the specific purposes of finishing me off, of finishing this little scenario. So where did that black guy come from? Was he a newbie too, with just weapons ready to go, or had he already done this before? I think he'd already done this before. How many times? I don't know. It's just speculation, but you can kind of look around you and you can kind of see what's going on. All right, guys. I will put another video out. Hopefully soon. Hopefully I'll get some sort of job, just some sort of little job to kind of get through. And you never know what can happen in a day. Even a day, you don't know. You don't know what laws are going to be passed, and I do hear that they are upholding the Patriot Act, which is so scary that they've withheld it. They've upheld the Patriot Act through all the presidents since George Bush, which was just Barack Obama. Barack Obama upheld the Patriot Act, and it's actually the Senate that does it, and they've done it again because we're under threat from ISIS. And so the Patriot Act and no rules for the alphabet agencies. If you say terrorism, that kills Americans. It's killing us. I mean, y'all can agree with me. So I don't know. I'm not going to start talking about like the terrorists in the Middle East and stuff like that. I guess I could get in trouble. I couldn't get in trouble for it. I just no, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. You can see I'm just like, I'm slow, I'm tired, I'm just really, really tired. But this is just me being really, really tired. I'll get a second win, a third win, fourth win, fifth win, whatever win I gotta get. But I just wanted to talk to you guys and kind of just make a video anyway, no matter how I was feeling. Say I love you guys. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're safe as can be. I send out a prayer to you. God will not let us down. God will not leave us. He's never left us. So, alright. I want to kind of end it. Live long and prosper. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one, alright?